we'll be welcoming an icon of the British music industry. I'm going to say it very quietly because you're going to hear the screams. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be joined by Sir Cliff Richard.
Time to welcome a man whose career spans no less than 6 decades in the music industry. He's sold 250 million records. He's had 52 #1 hits worldwide. Spent 1,152 weeks in the British singles chart. Who could he possibly be?
I have no idea.
I don't recognise him.
No.
Oh, look, it's Sir Cliff Richard who's come. I don't think they knew who you were. That's why.
Well, I was wondering who it was.
I had to give you that build-up because they wouldn't have recognised you.
I know. It's getting a bit. It's getting a bit over the top now. I find I can't. I don't think I can live up to it really.
They're amazing.
It all sounds so. Well, it is. It's just too much for me to believe, really.
It is.
It is. All those weeks in the charts and things.
Extraordinary. 1,000.
Well, you know what it feels like.
No, I don't.
You have 2 weeks.
I was a week in the charts. Now look. I want to get the good stuff over first.
Okay.
Okay. Let's have a Santa's list.
Yes.
I have before us some evidence that you've made a record for Christmas. Have a look.
I have. I can't believe they. I don't know if the people at home could hear them, but they were singing a lot. It's only come out today.
But somehow I've managed to hear it a few times before that. You were kind enough to come on Children in Need.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and you do
Well, that's the
every year,
first
so
time I
thank
think
you.
I ever sang it on television.
Yeah. But you turn up every year for us, and we do appreciate it.
Oh, it's a
Yes,
pleasure.
thank you for that.
Pleasure.
Now, you've had, as we said, 52 #1s worldwide.
No, is it 52
It is
worldwide?
52.
Oh, my goodness.
So, I mean...
Well, I wonder what happened to the other 122.
Yes, we're the same about our 30 million viewers. We say, well, where are the other 25 million? What are they watching? Yeah. So how special is it? Is it still special for you to be #1 at Christmas?
It's special to be #1 at any time of the year. It's just that most people release their records between October and December, and quite rightly, really, when you think what record company is going to release a record in January when you know you're going to sell 10 times less. So you do it when it's really hot stuff. So even if your record fails, you probably will have sold more records in that period of time than by releasing it in July, for instance. So, I mean, my records have always come out, all the sort of singles have come out August, September, October, when the sales start to pick up. Christmas is just a fun part of it.
I have to say, when we look back on all the Christmas songs over the years, I was watching Pop Idol, we'll talk about that in a moment, I was watching Pop Idol on Saturday, and in the breaks they had all the Christmas albums. And I just realised how many wonderful sing-along Christmas songs you've had over the years as well. They're beautiful.
Yeah, but they haven't, you know, when it comes to #1s at Christmas, I think I've got the count right. It's 2. Mistletoe and Wine and Saviour's Day. Little Town, which should have been #1 but didn't make it. We Should Be Together for Christmas didn't make it to #1. There's been a number of misses as well, but it's just, for me, the fun factor is actually being able to compete after all these years, even to find myself, you know, they're talking about, oh, Darkness and Cliff Richard and Dido and Pop Idol and UB40, and I'm thinking to myself, God, I like that. I like being still named amongst them after all these years.
Now, look, if this goes to #1, and you won't be too disappointed if it doesn't really like it to be #1, but you will have had, I hate to tell you this, a #1 in 6 different decades.
I know, that's what I'm really...
Does that make you about 80 years of age?
Yeah.
How does that work?
I was a child star, dear.
How does that work? 6 different decades?
Yeah.
Well, only because if you're going to start doing this, anybody watching any of the Pop Idols, for instance, if you're going to start having #1s, have them at the end of that decade. My first #1 was in '59.
Right.
But it counts as being in the 50s, which is true. Oh. So then 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and now here I am, 40, and I'm heading towards the...
I was about to say, it's a damn good story.
Yeah.
What about these things like Pop Idol? Do you think they're a good idea? Do you think we can... I mean, it's worked for Will Young, of course.
Well, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for kids who have been fans of people and being influenced by people and find they can sing. When I was kicking off, I mean, there seemed to be nowhere to go. I didn't know where to find a studio. I didn't... Will Young's first record, I believe he made it in machinery in his house. You know, the equipment is so good these days, you can actually buy it and make a master and have a #1 hit record. So that's all gone by the by, but there are more singers out there, and I think this is a great opportunity for youngsters to come through.
See, that's really nice that you're being positive, because most people are very, very negative about the whole Pop Idol Fame Academy thing. I personally love it as television, but people saying that it's very negative because of the way Simon Cowell is towards the people and Pete Waterman.
Well, there's always that. It's always an opinion, and I tend to agree with some of the comments about, you know, I think it's all an act anyway. I'm sure Simon, I know, is not
Very nice
a nasty
man,
person.
Pete,
That's
yeah.
right. But it's an act. It's a bit like Anne Robertson. She cleans it all up by winking at the end. But,
Oh, no, she doesn't.
So I can kind of put up with that. The only thing that I feel is, for instance, over the years I've been sent tapes by people who write songs, people who sing and want to get help. And if, for instance, they send me a song and I don't particularly like it, I tend to get a note written back to them saying, look, this is very subjective. It's not right for me, but you can't stop. You must send it to someone else. Someone else might take it to #1. So there's nothing wrong with saying to a singer, look, I don't think you're going to make it in Pop Idol, but good luck for trying.
Yeah.
And that kind of, I think, takes the edge off it a little and encourages people to come forward even more.
Well, that's
even
great.
though...
That's so nice to hear.
Will you stay with us? We'll talk maybe a bit about your world tour. And,
Okay.
And your personal life and...
Oh, I'm doing the whole series, am I?
You're here till Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Well
going
done.
nowhere,
Stay with
please.
us.
Will you
Okay.
stay?
Cliff Richard.
Thank you.
Deal.
Sir Cliff Richard! Just have to say that all the ladies in the audience are begging me to give them pizza, not me, Sir Cliff, and he'll do that in the ad break, ladies, if that's all right.
That's all right.
Not right now. They're going, please, pizza! From him, not you. Now tell me about your world tour, because you've been everywhere on your world tour. Favourite places?
I've been everywhere on my world tour, but nothing quite competes with watching Terry eat pizza. Although I have to say, I'm pretty good at it myself.
My favourite
Delicious.
place?
By the way, I had an idea. You know, if you're going to make a Christmas pizza, he said it's not really a Christmas pizza. I think the minute you stick it in the oven, play Jingle Bells. When it's out, you can say, we were singing Jingle Bells while it cooked. It's a Christmas pizza, for crying out loud.
Perfect.
So there you go. You like that?
Listen and learn.
Jingle bell, jingle bell.
Don't stop.
Yes, yeah.
Jingle all the way.
Jingle all of the way.
On it away.
All of the way.
I won't talk about your world tour.
No, I was on a world tour.
Because you had a film crew follow you around as well, didn't you?
Yeah, they did a sort of a backstage section to it. And in fact, I guess when you buy the DVD, you can go to either thing, the concert or the kind of outtake stuff that we did. But it was good. I mean, the tour lasted a long time, and at the end of 6 months, I was actually exceedingly happy to get home.
Yeah.
But and we filmed it, of course, in New Zealand, which is beautiful, in a place called Napier on a huge hillside. So there were 26,000 people on this hill, and that night, even though it was summertime, it froze. So people clapped. It was really tough for them, I have to say. It was so difficult for the crowd to get in, because they were all up this hillside, miles from us. The wind was blowing. My band refused. Usually they change for the second half, and they said, look, it's too cold for us to get into a T-shirt. So we stayed as we were, except I changed, of course.
Of course you did. Get hard.
I changed into an overcoat.
Would you mind...
We're going to show a clip later on of
Would you mind clinging
behind-the-scenes
to
if
the
we may.
wreckage in the intervening moments?
Do what?
While I'm eating this.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, OK. Do you want to...
It means would you stay here? Actually, I'll tell you what, while I go to the break, do you want to hand these round to the lovely ladies?
Yeah.
There we go. Still to come this morning, art critic Matt Collins will be joining us to tell us... Excuse me, hello, Neil, lovely cameraman, thank you.
You're a collector of art. Do you collect modern art?
No, I don't really collect art, but I buy art, but I tend to be more traditional. Modern I've seen looking really good in a fabulous apartment with all the right colours, but it doesn't do a great deal for me. But art is subjective, isn't it?
It is indeed, and I'm pretty objective about this. Why don't you ask me to play tennis with you anymore?
Because we've already got comedians.
I know what it is, because I hit Annabelle Croft in the back of the head with a serve.
With the racket.
And she was playing with me. That's what it is.
We will
isn't
ask
it?
you again,
It's
I promise.
prejudice.
Somebody
It's
wants to know,
prejudice.
just very quickly,
That's
Janet
Janet
from
the
Crew.
Queen.
Oh, yes, who would you beat? Des O'Connor or Terry Wogan?
Who would I what?
Who would you beat, Des O'Connor or
What
Terry
with,
Wogan?
a broomstick?
No, no.
I could probably beat both of them.
I think you
Together.
probably could. A big thank you to our guest today, Sir Cliff Richard, Matt Collins, and of course, Danny Baker. Now listen, if you call today to win a grand, don't panic, we haven't phoned you, but we could phone you later this week. We'll see you at 11 o'clock tomorrow with Joe Brand. Bye-bye.